In 2006, about 60 billion text messages were sent in the United States. During the next 6 years, text messages increased on average by 407 billion messages per year. So, can you read this and tell me what m and b would have to be if this were a linear function? So what's m represent? Slope. Slope is a rate of change. How would you find the rate of change in this?
Messages per year.
Yes. The rate of change always has that word per in it. How do you know if it's positive or negative? Increasing would be positive. So my slope is a positive 407. My y-intercept. What's a y-intercept?
The thing that we only have.
Right, the thing that happens once. It's like our starting point. Make sure everybody's with me right now, please. So when I began this, how many text messages did we start with? 60 billion. Okay, since both of these are in billion, I'm not going to add all the zeros. Do I need the 2006 and the 6 anywhere? No. So my equation would be y equals 407x plus 60. All right, so if I want the number of text messages sent in 2012, this equation is assuming 60 is the starting point. 60 was the year 2006. So if we are in 2012, what is my x value?
6.
6. Because it's how many years after 2006? So 6 years have passed. So we plug that in. And we get, good. Make sure you have that billion there because y was measured in billions.
Wouldn't that turn us into
Yes, you could technically. Good point. Is that one okay? All right. I want you guys to do this one. Asking for average rate of change. What is average rate of change? Slope. Okay. So I have a lot of numbers here. How do you find slope? So I need some ordered pairs.
2001, 2006.
In 2001, what's the y value there?
2000.
We need to match the year with the sales. So then in 2006, the sales were 19.8. So now we have our 2 points, so we can do our slope. 19.8 minus 12.7 over 2006 minus 2001. Okay, in this scenario, I would expect labels. So this is something that people tend to struggle with a little more, knowing how to label it. So go back to this fraction. 19.8 and 12.7. What did those numbers represent?
Million DVDs.
Million. Okay. So that's million. A division sign is your per. What are 2006 and 2001? So it went up 1.42 million per year. That's my average rate of change. I want to put one more problem up here. for you guys to take a look at on your own first, and then we'll talk about it. Are there any questions on this one? So here is your problem. So slope, we have to take 2 points we can tell exactly on our graph. So maybe these two. Slope, you can either write out the ordered pairs and find slope between them, or do rise over run. So if I start here, I go up 1 and backwards -3. So my slope is -1/3. The y-intercept, where do we hit the y-axis? -1. If I asked for an ordered pair, what would you put? The x-intercept, where do we hit the x-axis? If I asked for an ordered pair?
Do you care if we write as an order?
Only if I specifically say. So in general, if I don't specify, either is fine. All right, write an equation defining f. So I want function notation. So we know it's y equals mx plus b. If I said defining f of x is the same thing as y. My m was -1/3 x plus, what's my b?
Minus
Minus
one.
-1. All right, what is a 0?
Crosses the x-axis.
Just another word for x-intercept. In this case, we only have 1. That's at -3. You can put x equals -3. You could write the ordered pair -3, 0. You could write it in the solution set. Any of those things are fine. All right, do we have any questions about this stuff? Okay, so yesterday we started that Math Excel assignment, and I told you you would have some time to work on it again today. So I'm going to give you a little time. I might start the next section towards the end of class, but I want to make sure that everybody's doing okay on that assignment before we move on.